Hello, hello. Thanks so much for signing up to my Facebook community dedicated to helping business owners, entrepreneurs, and HR managers learn how to hire top remote leadership. Now, one of the biggest struggles that a lot of our clients come to us for help with, and I'm sure you have also experienced this, is attracting a good number of quality candidates and leads into your hiring pipeline. Now, there are a lot of factors and reasons why candidates will or will not apply to a particular role, and I'll share a little bit more about this in the group as we continue developing out the group and the content. But one of the biggest make it or break it moments really comes down to the job description. And that really is the positioning of a role. Now, most clients of ours and entrepreneurs in general that I've spoken to, usually running small to medium businesses, especially those that don't have a lot of help when it comes to hiring and they're trying to kind of do an 80-20 approach, don't really have the time to put into this. So what they end up doing is posting a brief summary on their website of what they need, maybe running a LinkedIn ad, maybe posting on Upwork. Now, some people do get lucky and do get some quality candidates in, but the majority do struggle with getting a good pipeline going, especially when it comes to management and leadership roles. And I'm here to tell you that the job description that I will be walking you through, our template, is the one that our agency and team uses with success for every single position that we hire for. So today, I'll be walking you through that template, what to look out for, how you can position your job for success, and attract dozens, if not hundreds, of great candidates to your position. So let's get right into it. All right, so it's time to go over this template. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we put together our job descriptions for every single position that we work on. I'll walk you through it line by line. I have a bunch of notes here as well that I've made throughout this job description template. So you probably got this in your email. So go ahead into your email if you haven't already. Open this up, make a copy, especially if you're going to be right here, make a copy, especially if you're about to launch a position or you would like to rewrite a current position that you have. You can do this alongside me. You can pause throughout the video as you put your job description together with this video, but I will walk you through point by point how you put this together. So feel free to make a copy, open it up, and work on it with me and pause it whenever you need to. All right, let's get into it. So title. This is a lot of the times business owners will title a position by just the name marketing manager, but that doesn't give a candidate a lot of information because marketing manager could mean a lot of things. Is it a part-time? Is it full-time? What's the type of business that they need to be going into? So we always want to be as specific as possible in the title because that is the first thing candidates see. So always structure this, and this is the way we've done it. It works so great when it comes to attracting candidates. The occupancy, so is it part-time, is it full-time, is it freelance, whatever you decide for yourself, and the business, whatever you guys are looking for, the name of a position, so obviously if it's a senior media buyer, if it's an operations manager, however you've positioned it, and the type of business that you have. Again, this is going to be great because if you're hiring a marketing manager, if you're hiring just a brand manager, they'll have a lot of perspective of like, oh, we're hiring a senior media buyer for a PPC, Amazon PPC marketing agency, for example. That really clicks and attracts the best candidates because those people that don't have that experience, they right off the bat know this is not for them. And the ones that do are like, yes, I need to jump on this opportunity. So that's in terms of title. Time frame. This is more something that we do, but we found this really works. Is just setting expectations. It might be if you're an HR manager setting expectations for the shareholders or for your supervisor. But if you're a business owner, this is just great to have an understanding and accountability with your team and the business regarding what's the time frame. So how many weeks do you have to hire for this position? What's realistic based on your resources, and when are you going to start? So this just helps us organize things a little bit better. Then it comes to location. So this is something to consider. I always say make sure to consider all the regions you're going to be looking into because then you can go after job boards that cover those regions. Consider different options. I mean, if you're able to hire remotely, play around with regions. If you're looking for people that will work in North America, sorry, not North America, but like they'll be working with your clients in North America, then you can go ahead and source from Central America, South America. You got all of Latin America on that time zone. And so you can play around with it. The more regions that you would like to, or you have the ability to attract from, the bigger pool of candidates you can choose from. So it's really exciting and it's a great opportunity. But of course, only if that's something you are interested in, have the opportunity for. I always recommend it, and setting that up to have a very clear understanding for the whole team or whoever's going to be working on it, where they're going to be sourcing from. All right, salaries. So this one is quite interesting. So we generally position salaries per month rather than per year. Now, most countries like the US, UK, Canada, and Australia will have it per year. But what ends up happening is in the remote work space, things are ever changing. So you'll sometimes bring on a manager or a leader with some sort of bonus structure. So maybe they'll have, or bumps and raises like consistently. So they might have a trial period, then after 3 months, there'll be a reconsideration period, then after 6 months, 9 months, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that's how it is for everybody, but a lot of businesses do that. So I'd highly encourage you to stick on a per month kind of per month salary basis, but completely up to you. If you're hiring again all over the world, not only in the countries that I just mentioned, most places actually don't do it by yearly salary, but rather by monthly. So X per month, especially like places like Europe, Latin America, like all over Asia and things like that. So keep that in mind when you're setting a salary. The next one is working hours. So obviously, when it comes down to working hours, you really want to take the time to understand where you're going to be hiring these people from. What's the time zone that they need to be on? A lot of remote companies have a flexible schedule, but is it really that flexible, right? Because if the business owners or if the founders are located in Europe, you want them crossover with Europe because you need to get on call, you need to do trainings. If you have team that people are going to be in the United States, in Asia, you need someone who has the flexibility to get on calls throughout those different countries. So it's really important that you're clear about what the working hours are, or at least what the expectation availability is for this position. And that really makes or change, like makes or breaks the game, because when we've put that in there, when we've put that as a part of our questionnaire and how we do things, it really and we put that in the job description, we put that in the questionnaire, and we filter candidates so much better because candidates say, oh, actually, I prefer working on only this time zone. I can't cross over with this time zone. So, or it's too late, or it's too early. And already off the bat, that goes that already filters out quite a few candidates. So I definitely recommend it. The next one up is more for internal purposes. Actually, this whole first page is more for your internal team to understand and have a clear understanding of, what's the time frame, what's the location, what's the working hours. This all can be incorporated in the job description, but this is like that first sheet where you figure all of these details out. It helps you brainstorm, helps you get a sense of what's really important for you. And by figuring out all these details ahead of actually attracting this candidate, you save so much time down the line. All right, so the next couple of things that we do usually is have the top 3 skills. Again, for any position, there's going to be a ton of requirements that you have and responsibilities you'd like that for them to be able to fill, experiences that you're looking for that they should be having, but that they should have had in the past. But it really comes down to what are the top 3 most important things for you when it comes to this position, right? So let's say you're hiring a operations manager. You want them to take care of the day-to-day. So you want to make sure that they have good team management skills, that they have good systems and processes skills. So, right, setting up some sort of SOPs, systems within the company, things like that. And the third thing might be building out the team. So HR skills. And those 3 things might be the most important for you. So keep that in mind. Really take the time to consider what is it that will make this an ideal candidate. What are like the top 3 skills you'd like to focus on? And then finally is personality and character. So again, we're looking at this list can go on and on. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to stick to like just three things, but pretty much one of my notes is consider which character traits, personality matters the most to you. Who is going to be the best culture fit? What are the type of traits they're going to have? Obviously consider your values. What type of alignment needs to be there for you to say, heck yes, like this is the person for me. And of course, make sure to infuse these requirements into your vetting process. So beyond your job description, make sure you put this in a way that you can actually test for it throughout the various steps of your hiring process, whether that's a questionnaire, a video, a personality test, a test project, an interview, whatever you decide, definitely take that into account. All right, now getting into the job description, getting things started. All right. Okay, so the first thing is obviously, one of the things that we have done is really position that job description from you, like positioning it as a letter that you're addressing candidates to. I have seen so many job descriptions that are so impersonal. We're looking for X, Y, and Z. If you think here are a few things that we're looking for. If you think you're a good fit, please apply. It just doesn't connect. It's not personal. And in this day and age, the internet, the way that you connect with people on the internet, the way you connect with people that you've never seen before from different cultures and places is by being personal. People connect with emotions and people connect by feeling like, wow, this person is speaking to me. I cannot tell you how many times I've done interviews where the candidates, that those were literally the words of the candidate. I applied because I felt like this was speaking to me. I felt like I really connected with that mission, with the values, with like, and I'll talk about this throughout the job description as well, but it's the candidates coming back to us, and the feedback that we always get from our job descriptions is this job description speaks to me personally. I felt like the owner was really speaking to me, and I felt like I am the right fit for this position. So really try to make this as personal as possible is like the one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give when it comes to positioning a job description. So obviously address your audience. So hello, you can name your position. Now, if you're hiring for like a head of operations, it's going to be a little weird to say hello, head of ops people or managers. It just sounds a little funny. So you can say, hello, operations specialists or experts. You can say the same thing with marketing, hello, marketing experts. So you can play around with it, but, address the audience who will be reading it, obviously. My name is, obviously, your name. It's going to be really important to put that in. Your job title, if you're the CEO, the HR manager, the name of the company, and then a short description of the business. This is really important. This is where you really want to stand out. Every single candidate, and this is a whole different market at these days when it comes to the remote space. This is a job seekers market rather than an employer's market right now. And so people can be choosy. So the way that you position your business, your mission, you are all about, why you're doing what you're doing, this can really make or break the perception of a candidate. And so I always say, make sure you really share what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it in the company. And obviously, this is what I mentioned, share about your business, mission, goals. It's meant to give candidates an understanding of your business and what the present and future looks like. It's meant to get them excited to work with you. And again, you're selling this. A lot of our clients, a lot of employers in general, they don't look at this as positioning, but it is marketing. You're selling this position. You're selling it to somebody who's going to dedicate 8 hours of every single day, maybe less, depending on your position, to working for you and doing an amazing job. So it is a bit of selling here. So you have to think about, how do you position, how do you stand out among the crowd, how you are different, and what are the opportunities you bring to the table, but really being able to help them connect with what you're all about. So then you go ahead and say, we're looking to hire a few, and then obviously a few of the personality traits that are important to you. So the first paragraph is pretty much going to be about the company. The second paragraph is going to be like your vision for this role. So we're looking to hire a head of operations, let's say, hardworking, detail-oriented, SOP obsessed, agile focused, like EOS master, head of ops, who will be responsible for, and then some of the main goals or aim of this role. And then obviously you can add here any other important aspects of this role that you'd like to mention. And then you can go ahead and put the occupancy here. So is this a full-time role? Is this a part-time role? We want to repeat this because people don't always pick it up the first time. Just make sure you mention what this role is. Then we're going to go ahead and put this into sections. So the first section is, what are the requirements of this role? And again, being as specific as possible. And what I always say is, start with, what does success look like for me? Right? So for this position, right? So what does success look like if we brought on a head of operations? Make a list of what success looks like. And then from there, you can pull on the requirements. Now, I have a great recommendation for this. If you're not sure about like, okay, what requirements, getting some inspiration here, I always recommend Workable. Workable has some great examples. So I'll show you this. So like a head of operations, Workable, when you put that in, they've got some awesome examples of job descriptions. Feel free to go ahead and use those for like the requirements. They've got like responsibilities. They'll have a bit on the, like whole list of responsibilities and requirements. So if you're not sure what exactly will this role be doing, maybe you only came up with one or two things, but you just really want to make sure that you're really like taking the time to think about this and getting some ideas. Workable is great for getting ideas for requirements. And then obviously, like, these are your main must-have requirements. So a couple of things. Don't forget to mention level of English, especially if you're hiring outside of the United States or any just like any English-speaking countries. And then any technical knowledge requirements, soft skills needed for this position. So really take in all of those factors, right? So not just 5 years of experience or a master's degree in, but also we're looking for someone highly detail oriented because they'll be working with data very closely and they'll be working with tools. And you can mention the tools that they'll be working with. So that's really important. Um, Here's another aspect of this. If there are certain certain requirements that you would like this person to have, but they're not must have. They're not like, absolutely, I need to have this 100%. You can add a different section called nice to haves, but not required. And you can add those things in there as well. All right, your responsibilities would include, again, this is something you should think about of what success looks like. You want to keep things a little like sweet and short. All right, now what your responsibilities will include is a really important section, and you can go ahead and put in, the expectations, responsibilities for this role, but you don't want to overwhelm. You don't want to overdo it too much because sometimes we've had clients request to put in like a whole long list of responsibilities, and it just can get really, really overwhelming. A candidate might be like, that seems like a lot. It seems like they're putting 3 jobs in one. So you wouldn't want to just overwhelm. Try to keep things really short, sweet, to the point. And again, feel free to use Workable as a great example for that. Now, on to growth opportunities and perks. Now, here's where I think that a lot of clients get it, just miss out on this opportunity. This is something we really work on and try to do a lot. Now, these growth opportunities is really like the time to shine. A lot of our clients, as I mentioned, they don't really take a lot of time to put into these, usually when they're doing a position on their own, if they've already tried to hire on their own. But looking at, and you can divide this up, right? So from one side, it could be benefits. Do you offer vacation days? Do you offer, and I mentioned a couple of these, so are there any expenses that are covered? Retreats maybe that are included, right? So how do you stand out? And in the past, having a remote opportunity was the thing. That was like the biggest perk of them all. But now it's like everyone's working remote and it's not something that really stands out. So you have to take the time to think about, what am I offering my staff, employees, freelancers that makes me stand out, whether that's vacation, health, tech, travel, retreats, gym memberships, co-working memberships, the list goes on and on. But what am I offering to them that makes me stand out from the crowd? And then the other thing is obviously growth opportunities for this position. So what are the opportunities for this person to really shine, grow, and, hit it out of the park, right? So what is it that they can really do in this company? Not just, we're hiring you for this position, that's it. Most people want to be able to develop and grow, and you want to hire people who want to develop and grow. So make sure that you really think about how they're able to do that working with you. All right, moving on. This position is perfect for you if, honestly, once we started doing this was so good. So we pretty much look at that top 3 soft skills that we're looking for, right? So maybe you want somebody who's detail oriented, highly intelligent, independent thinker. That's really what you need. And then you just write a short explanation. What is that vision for that? So if it's detail oriented, you want them to constantly be creating reports, looking at numbers. It goes on and on, but really take the time to think about what are your top 3 soft skills that you're looking from this person to have, from this person that you'll be hiring and bringing on, and then be able to put in a little explanation behind that. So this has really been great because, again, it just connects with candidates so much more. And then finally, what we do, it just talks about, hey, check this out. To get a good understanding of what we do, here is where you can put in LinkedIn, your website. If you have any relevant links about your business, this is where this goes. Feel free to do that here. And it's great because, again, you'll be able to check if a candidate really took the time to do their research, to look at all the links and all the information provided. And then finally, our hiring process is made up of, and then you can put in how many steps are in your vetting process. Usually ours is like 4 to 6. So please be aware that you will need to dedicate time for and then go ahead and add the steps the candidate will be going through: questionnaire, a video, one-on-one interviews, short test project, whatever it may be. And then finally, thank them for the time for considering this position and that you're looking forward to hearing from them. And then obviously sign off with your name. So that's it. That's pretty much the job description template, how to put it together. As you can see, it's not that complicated, but there's just a lot of things that people miss out on, they miss out on or forget or don't take the time or haven't even thought of. And so I really hope this guide is gonna help you really elevate your game when it comes to putting together job descriptions and positioning. If you have any questions whatsoever regarding this, regarding the positioning, any questions regarding the job description template, the guide, anything at all, feel free to respond in to the email that you got this in, or you can go ahead and post a question around it in our Facebook community. Awesome. Looking forward to hearing from you, and best of luck with your hiring. Talk soon. Bye bye.